Roses are red, violets are blue. Don't look at me sideways or I'll throw a hacky sack ball at you.
Science.
Okay, today is going to be a review of energy. I'm going to give you some scenarios. You got to tell me what type of energy is being used. Okay, these are the types of energies you have to choose between. Okay, mechanical energy, which is pushing and moving objects, or moving things like this and moving things like that, pushing and moving objects. Light energy, which is whenever light hits something and heats something up. And thermal energy, which is when atoms are jiggling and they share their jiggle with other atoms. They share their energy that causes them to jiggle with other atoms and things get hot. Or sound energy, which is when the air gets compressed and gets squeezed and unsqueezed, and we hear that as sound. That's what sound is, whenever the air gets moved and jiggled and squeezed and vibrated. Okay, I'm going to give you some scenarios. And remember, there can be two different types of energies at play in the same scenario, okay? Okay, let's say I go outside and I have an egg and I crack it on the sidewalk and the egg starts to cook. What energy is allowing me to cook that egg on the sidewalk? Let's think. I put it on the sidewalk and it's cooking on the sidewalk, which means that the sidewalk has to be hot, like a stove, okay? If the sidewalk's hot, how does the sidewalk transfer? So how does the sidewalk make the egg hot? Well, it transfers some of its heat, some of its energy from the sidewalk to the egg. What type of energy is that? That's thermal energy. When matter is sharing its jiggle, its energy, with other matter, and that's thermal energy. And you could even go further and ask the question, how did the sidewalk get hot? Well, you can say, well, the sun shared its light energy into the sidewalk and helped it get hot. Okay, now let's say there's a jet that's flying through the sky, okay? And it flies really fast, super fast, past some buildings. And when it flies past those buildings, there's a big boom, okay? And all the glass of those buildings break. What energy caused the glass of those buildings to break? Well, let's think about it. We heard a big boom. What was that boom from? Well, that was from the jet flying so fast that the air was being pushed really fast too and squeezed. So whenever the squeezed air hit the buildings, it made it shatter. It's called the sonic boom. And that's sound because it's air moving. It's air being compressed, squeezed and unsqueezed and jiggled and unjiggled. And that's called the sonic boom. And that's sound. That's sound energy. The sonic boom is sound energy. And let's say I am looking up at a box that's on top of a cliff. And that box seems to be moving. The box is moving forward, and then eventually falls off the cliff and breaks. What caused that box to move? What type of energy caused that box to move? Mechanical energy. Mechanical energy caused that box to move. Why? I was supposed to go through the reasoning first, and then I was supposed to tell you. Whatever. It's mechanical energy. Something had to happen pushing the box from either the inside of the box or the outside of the box. But that box was at first stationary, and then it moved. It was moving from its spot of origin until it fell. That is work being done on a box, which means there's mechanical energy being put onto that box. It's being pushed. It's being moved. That is a mechanical energy. Hopefully you got them all right. Hopefully you got the reasoning right. And yeah, energy's cool. Stay in school.